Hello Internet, my name is Zephyr, and I am going to be talking about the brand new Hot Wheels XL line, or Hot Wheels Extra Large. These are 143 scale, meaning that they are slightly larger than your typical Hot Wheels cars, and you've probably seen them in stores already. I actually have two of these XL cars, being Count Muscula and the Mod Rod. Oops. Yes, I also forgot to mention these guys roll just as well as their 164 counterparts, but bringing in Mod Rod here because one cool thing is that these actually share the exact same paint schemes, the exact same liveries or decals, tampos, whatever you refer to Hot Wheels paint jobs as their original 164 counterparts. And that is especially prevalent with Mod Rod here, having the big 51. But it is very apparent with this particular release of Count Muscula, because it has, I think this is like the first edition release for Count Muscula, in this like orangish red with the like pinstripe flames. But yeah, they actually have less detail than their 164 counterparts. It doesn't even have the gimmick with the splitter. I think it actually has that little piece like preventing you from doing so. The wheels are different. I actually really like these new wheels. They might be new specifically for this line. But yeah, you don't get any extra detail with these spinning it around. It is quite literally just the 164 scale car just blown up to this 143 scale line, which really makes you question, why are they doing this 143 scale line when Hot Wheels has already done 143 in the past? Many times before, actually, with different attempts at a 143 scale line. Some examples of Hot Wheels doing 143 scale in the past is this Twin Mill 3 from, I'm forgetting what line this was, but it essentially allowed you to take parts off the car and mix and match them with other parts that came with the car. Now, real talk, if the Hot Wheels XL line does continue, I really hope that they do choose the Twin Mill 3, as this is my favorite design for the Twin Mill, and I really would like to have a 143 scale version of it without all these stupid holes in it. And of course, they did a wave of 143 scale cars for Hot Wheels Battle Force 5, where the cars had their little gimmicks in them. For example, the Saber here, if you pulled back on that little black piece on the front of the car, it would have these little blades that pop out. And yes, even some Hot Wheels McDonald's toys, coincidentally enough, also Battle Force 5, had some gimmicks to them as well. But they also have the pullback line, which is pretty self-explanatory. They have little motors in them. When you wind them up and release them, they go on their own. They even released some slot cars. Now, I'm not really sure if this technically counts as Hot Wheels because it is branded Hot Wheels, but it is made by a different company, so I'm only putting it on this list by technicality. But one thing you'll probably notice is that these are all 143 scale cars because they all have some sort of gimmick. So taking a look at a line that has no gimmick, it's just straight car, no nonsense, you have the Hot Wheels Premium 143 scale cars. These are 143 scale cars that are, well, pretty much as premium gets. And these things were pretty expensive, but you got what you paid for. And that is because the level of detail for these cars was impeccable. Because they were grouped into the premium line, that allowed them to go in and give the cars rubber tires and all of the detail that you would come to expect in a Hot Wheels Premium, just on a larger scale. The downside to doing this, however, is that it made the cars pretty expensive, which means that they would shelf warm and not a whole lot of people would buy them, so they were very selective on the amount of cars that they made, and the line was unfortunately discontinued. So that is where the Hot Wheels XL line comes in. And that is the exact reason why these XL cars are basically just the 164 versions of themselves, just blown up to 143 proportions. They have no extra detail, some of them actually have less detail, but they are done this way on purpose to be cheap. And I think that's actually brilliant because it helps keep the line inexpensive, allowing both adult and kid collectors to pick up larger versions of Hot Wheels. And it certainly feels like these are more geared towards the adult collectors because in a wave of 6 cars, only 2 of those cars are fantasy, which are typically seen as less desirable. But something I think is really cool about this XL line is that you can actually get both the original 1/64 scale version of the car and compare it to its new XL version because they are basically just the exact same car sharing the exact same paint scheme. Like in this photo where someone is comparing the Super Treasure Hunt version of the Porsche 934 to the Hot Wheels XL. Now, the Hot Wheels XL version is painted to look more like the regular release, so this guy's definitely just flexing. But since these are basically just larger versions of Hot Wheels mainline cars, it does make you wonder if they could actually do something unique like their own version of Super Treasure Hunts, where they come in Spectra Flame paint or even rubber tires. Now, the community seems to be very 50-50 on this XL line. A lot of people don't like it, and a lot of people like myself do like them. And I'm sure they're selling well because we're already on wave 3 of these cars, and wave 4 is coming pretty soon. I really want to see this line succeed, and I actually have a couple of recommendations on cars that they could use for this Hot Wheels XL line. Especially since they are using decos from the past, this opens up the doors to do some really awesome stuff. You already know I am wasting no time by using up one of the fantasy slots for Diora 2. This car is too legendary not to be given the 143 Hot Wheels XL treatment, and honestly, I don't care what paint deco they use for it. Though it would be pretty legendary of Hot Wheels if they made this thing using the Teku livery. I know I'll definitely lose some people if I just make it all fantasy casting, so how about the Hot Wheels Gas Monkey Garage Midas Monkey? This car's received a couple of different paint decos over the years, but if you're gonna make it in the XL line, you gotta go with the original, just the plain gold, because that's how the car appears in real life and that's how the car appears in the show. And regardless of whether you like Gas Monkey Garage or if you watch the show or not, I feel like having this particular Corvette in all gold in a Hot Wheels XL line is gonna sell really well and a lot of people are gonna really like it. Other cars I would love to see in 143 scale for Hot Wheels XL in these exact paint decos as well are the Mazda 787B, the La Libre, the winner of the Hot Wheels Legends Tour, and to round things off for license castings, I would love this vintage Lotus Formula 1 car sporting this British racing green. And while I don't ever see it happening, I would at least want to push the boundaries and see how far they're willing to go with previous paint decos for these XL cars, because I would personally love to see a Highway 35 car. And I would love to see the Street Breed Slingshot, because Slingshot is one of my favorite Hot Wheels cars of all time. But as we are rounding things off, I want to hear from you guys down in the comments below. What cars do you guys want to see in the Hot Wheels XL line next? Do you guys like the Hot Wheels XL line, or do you prefer if they just stick to 164? Let's get a discussion going down in the comments, but also be sure to like, comment, hype the video, that's a new feature, and subscribe as it greatly helps out the channel. And as always, thank you for watching.